Anyverse Now Enterprises, an animal health organization, is committed to fostering harmony between animals, nature, and humans. We offer a range of services, from Reiki and therapy to comprehensive education, empowering pet owners and communities to coexist in harmony. Join us in creating a world where animals, nature, and humans thrive together. Visit our website at dayronshavers.com to discover how you can be part of this transformative journey.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Everybody tuning in from Instagram. We're getting it together here. All right. Those tuning in on every other platform, welcome. Hope everybody had a happy start to the new year. Happy New Year if you celebrate that. All right. Let's get this focused here. All right. So without further ado, welcome everybody to another live stream where we focus on personal development, learning different ways to overcome the day. All right. So my name is Dayron Shavers. I am a life coach, a Reiki healer for people as well as animals. And for those you don't know, Reiki is pretty much another name for a therapist for the mind, body, and spirit. All right. So again, my company, Anyverse Now Enterprises, is a company that has a mission of creating coexistence between people and the natural world around them. All right. So join the Anyverse Network podcast. All right. Tune in for anything nature related, whether this is therapies, whether this is talking about animals, trees, plants, news in the nature field, careers. We have a lot of special guests. We're having a lot of fun. All right. So tune in. As I said, that link will be in the description. Also, if you want to check out my services that I offer, be sure to check out my website. That is www.dayronshavers.com. You can find that in the description as well. Or if you're watching on YouTube, X, Facebook, you can see the actual description in the video here. All right. You can also book a free 10-minute consultation. I'll be happy to talk with you where you are, in your transformative journey, in the different ways I can help assist you. All right. Have online courses, one-on-one coaching sessions, Reiki sessions for people and animals, joint sessions for both. All right. And again, these live streams are every Tuesday and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Please adjust according to where you are in the world. If you're in Central Time, that's 10 a.m. If you're in West Coast Time, that's 8 a.m. And if you're somewhere else in the world, please adjust accordingly. All right. Don't want to leave anyone out. And I look forward to there being of service. All right. So today we're gonna check in, right? It just started the new year. This is day 2 of 2024. All right. So if you celebrate the new year, happy new year. If not, then this is another time to refocus, right? We're getting goals back in order. All right. So something that you want to look at and think about is in 2023, right? Did you make any steps towards any goals that you set previously? Is there things that you accomplished? Right. If you think about it. So if you accomplished something, right, I want you to write it down right now. If you accomplished doing well on a test, right, make sure you note that, right? You don't want to overlook anything, no matter how small or how large a type of goal that you accomplished in 2023, right? Because this is building momentum to where we are now. So again, if you landed a job back in 2023, right, you want to congratulate yourself. right? If you prospered academically, make sure you note that. If you started a business in 2023, make sure you note that. All right. So looking at that, again, you want to take a note. And now in 2024, now how do you want to build upon that? Right? How do you want to build upon what you accomplished in 2023? Right? Did you make many connections that you're proud of? Did you meet a lot of great people? Right? Make sure you make a note of that. So then in 2024, now, as I said, what kind of goals are you setting now? How do you want to build upon the momentum that you set in 2023 coming into the new year? Right? So we're looking at what we call focused intention. Right? Focused intention means you have tunnel vision for what you want to accomplish. Right? And this helps you to stay on track and to stay on path to what you want to do. All right. So, for instance, I love doing these sessions Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Right. So I'm setting an intention to continue this, right, to be more consistent. I'll continue to be consistent with this. I started it in 2023. Now I want to carry it through to 2024. All right. And this allows me to reach and be a service to people. Right. Which ultimately will be a service to animals in the natural world as well. Because again, that was the whole purpose of founding Aniverse Now Enterprises, to build coexistence between people and the natural world around them. All right. So you see where we're going here. We're building on those intentions and we're continuing those. All right. So again, some things that you want to accomplish in 2024. So if you have a pen and paper next to you, if you're driving, continue to drive safe. Right. But you want to just note things that you want to accomplish. Right. Just you start one or two things. All right. Something you want to accomplish. And just take a note of that. You want to take a note of that. All right. So we got that down, right? So now we're looking at, we want to look at something we're grateful for coming into the new year. Right? Something you're grateful for coming into the new year. Is it a person? Is it a place? Is it a pet that you have? You know, we all have something that we're grateful for. Right? If you think about it, we all have something we're grateful for, and it makes us smile. It makes us happy. Right? It puts us in that mode when we begin to do things. Right? Helps us get into a flow state. Helps us get into a flow state. And what else does it do? It also allows us to be mindful and aware of what we're doing in the present moment. So again, when we talk of mindfulness or awareness, an analogy that I like to use is, imagine you're in a very tall building, maybe a skyscraper, maybe a 20-floor building. The bottom of the building is the past, right? And then as you continue to move up floors, you're in the middle of the building. That's the present. You continue to move up, that's the future, right? So if we're standing in the middle of the building, we're in the present moment. If you begin to think about things that happened in the past, right, a lot of times this can build anxiety, right? Things that you wish you could have changed, and this happens to all of us, right? Things you wish you could have changed, things you could have done better, right? And if you think about in the future, right, you look at the floors above, a lot of times this can build anxiety as well, right? Because you're so focused and worried about what type of decisions can you make, right? However, when you start focusing on the present moment, this eliminates more and more anxiety. It's what we call mindfulness. Again, this is what we call mindfulness. And mindfulness, again, is awareness of the present moment. All right. So that's something to think about there. And something else is like when you begin to think about those things, the past and the future, and say that anxiety builds. So a lot of times that activates regions in our brain, which is called the default mode network, right? And with this area, it begins to become more and more active, right? It builds more and more anxiety. It becomes more active. But when we begin to do mindfulness meditation, it starts to deactivate this, right? It allows us to focus more. A lot of times this is active during what we call daydreaming, right? It's a lot active when we're not doing such focused tasks, right? If we're not zoned in on something, then our mind wanders, and this region in our brain is actually more active. However, when we begin to do more mindfulness meditation, right, or we're focused on a task, then this area becomes less active. This is where we get more and more focus. All right. So we talked about that in the Clarity webinar workshop that was done the 29th of December, right? And we actually went into detail about these regions in our mind, the effects of breath work and meditation, and how it can help. All right. So there's another workshop coming up this month, right? Stay tuned for that information. And we have a great time learning about our body awareness, right? Because it's about being aware of what our body is telling us. A lot of times our body is giving us messages throughout the day. It's just a matter on if we want to listen or not, right? Our body may be telling us to rest. Our body may be telling us that it's exhausted mentally, maybe exhausted physically, or maybe exhausted spiritually, right? And we have to be aware of what our body is telling us, or else, we have to face the consequences. And I'm not saying everything is severe, right? And this is for all of us, right? We want to continue to push through something, right? And we know our body is like at the limit. And a lot of times we might neglect it. So then when we feel a certain way and we don't know where it stems from, our body was giving us clues the whole time. Right. So this happened to me a lot of times in school when before I actually learned different study habits, I just continued to read textbook upon textbook, fill my mind with information, right? A lot of times I tried to study a lot the day before a test, right? And my mind was overworked, right? It was too filled with information at one time, right? So then when I actually went to take the test, I couldn't remember anything, right? Couldn't remember anything. And as a result, I didn't perform well on the test, right? So it's like the entire time, it's like my body was telling me, right? I was mentally exhausted, but I knew I had to study this to try to do good on the test. But really, I probably made it worse. So that's just something to think about, if you're in school or even if you're working, a job. It's the same kind of concept. All right. So again, this is the power of mindfulness meditation, is building that self-awareness of the self. All right. So a lot of times, since we love nature here, right? If you think of animals, right, they're mostly in the present moment, right? And this is something I'd love to. This is going to be a topic on the Aniverse Network podcast, right? Do animals think about, say, what they're going to do tomorrow, next week, right? How do they look at it? Or are they just present in the moment, right? Are they just focused on food, water, and shelter, right? You want to think about it. Are they just present in the moment, or do they actually look forward to certain things? You know, and if you look at it, then it's kind of simplified in a way, right? Because they may not look at the days how we look at days, the hours how we look at hours. So it's like they're focused and aware on what they're doing in the present moment to survive. So it's like, could are animals living in a state of mindfulness and awareness? That's something to think about. Again, are animals living in mindfulness and awareness, just focused on the present moment? I'm curious. I would think that they are. So, again, this is the power of mindfulness, right? It decreases the anxiety from thinking about the past, so much from thinking about the future, for living in the now. All right. And for those just joining, welcome. We're talking about focused goals, from building upon goals that we accomplished in 2023 to where we are now, building on those goals into 2024, continuing that momentum. So earlier we just wrote down and made a note of something we accomplished in 2023. And then here in 2024, how we're looking to build on that goal and continue the momentum. Right. So if you offer service, how can you improve that service? All right. So with that, let's just get into some breath work here. All right. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna inhale for 10 seconds. We're gonna hold. We're gonna release for 10 seconds. All right. So let's inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. All right. All right, everyone. So with this, again, we wanted to come together, make sure we're focusing our attention on building goals from what we did in 2023. And we want to continue that coming into this new year. All right. Remember something that you're grateful for. If that's a person, if that's a place, if that's an activity, if that's an animal or your pet, hold on to what you're grateful for as you strive for your goals. This helps to build focus and clarity. All right. So that was a topic today. Again, tune in to the Aniverse Network podcast, your one-stop shop for everything nature. Right. A lot of content coming. Also tune into my website. View the services that I offer. Life coaching one-on-one services, Reiki services for people as well as animals, online course to introduce you to nature and the ways that it benefits your life. And stay tuned for the announcement coming probably this week, later this week, the announcement about the webinar coming up towards the end of this month of January that we're in. All right. With that in mind, again, my name is Dayron Shavers. I appreciate your time. Thank you for tuning in. And I look forward to being of service to you. All right. So with that said, I'll see you all Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good day. Accomplish your goals and overcome the day. All right. Peace.